we all know things got pretty heated between the king himself, LeBron James, and Dillon Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies during the Lakers-Grizzlies playoff series, with Brooks trash-talking and LeBron not one to back down from a challenge. But how did it all end? LeBron and Dillon's showdown ended in a way that surprised absolutely no one. LeBron, being the true king that he is, let his actions on the court do the talking and led the Lakers to a Game 6 victory. And while Dillon talked the big game earlier in the series, he ended up eating his words and did a complete 180 and went completely silent in the final game. And rumors have it that he might end up in China. According to Shams Charania, the Grizzlies have informed him that he will not be brought back under any circumstances. If there's one thing we've learned from Dillon Brooks during this playoff run, is that he needs to stop poking the bear. I mean, come on. Did he really think that he could get away with trash-talking LeBron James and the Lakers? LeBron James is a bona fide basketball legend. He's the NBA's all-time leading scorer and has countless accolades to his name. But that didn't stop Dillon Brooks from calling him out after the Grizzlies win in Game 2. Brooks was talking a big game from the get-go, and during the game, he and LeBron were going back and forth on the court. After the game, when asked about the exchange, Brooks didn't back down. In fact, he went even further, calling LeBron old and challenging him to drop 40 points on him. Brooks said,
"I don't care, he's old. I was waiting for that. I was expecting him to do that Game 4, Game 5. He wanted to say something when I got my fourth foul. He should have said that earlier on. I poke bears. I don't respect anyone until they come and give me 40.
This maybe was not the wisest thing to do, given how much it might motivate a player who can hurt Brooks and his team in a dozen different ways. But hey, Brooks did it anyways, and boy oh boy, did it backfire on him. The Memphis Grizzlies ended up losing the next 2 games, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the series. Now, I'm not saying that Brooks single-handedly cost his team the series. There were plenty of other factors at play, but his trash talk certainly didn't help matters. I mean, I get it. Trash talking is part of the game, but sometimes you just gotta know when to keep your mouth shut. The Lakers just crushed it in Game 6, winning by a whopping
40 points.
That's some serious domination right there. After the game, Brooks decided to bail on the post-game media interview and left the locker room early. He didn't want to deal with the backlash from his comments and his poor play. Can't say I blame him, but it's a shame he couldn't own up to his words, especially after all the trash talk he was throwing around after Game 2. Brooks was talking a big game, but he just couldn't back it up on the court. In fact, he played so poorly throughout the series that he only managed to score a measly 63 points in total. And let's not forget about the 20 personal fouls, including one that got him ejected for hitting James in the groin. I mean, let's be real here, guys. Dillon Brooks was straight up terrible when it mattered the most. In the Grizzlies' final 3 losses, he only managed to score a measly 29 points and shot an abysmal 11 of 37 from the field. Before Game 6, the drama escalated in the Lakers' 111-101 Game 3. The tension was already high pre-game when James and Brooks exchanged some heated words, but things really took a turn in the second half. Just 17 seconds into the half, Brooks hit James right in the groin, and after an official review, the refs didn't hesitate to call him for a flagrant 2 foul. That meant he was out of there, ejected from the game. This was just the latest incident this postseason of a player being hit in that area. James Harden got ejected from Game 3 of the series between the Philadelphia 76ers and Brooklyn Nets. He hit Royce O'Neal in the groin late in the third quarter of the Philadelphia victory. And he's not the only one. Earlier in the game, Joel Embiid received a flagrant foul for kicking Nick Claxton in the groin. But unlike Harden, he wasn't ejected. This wasn't even the first time LeBron has been hit in that area in the playoffs. Now, you might remember back in 2016 when Draymond Green was suspended for Game 5 of the NBA Finals after hitting LeBron James in the groin. Green also faced a recent suspension for Game 3 between the Golden State Warriors and Sacramento Kings. And guess what? It might have something to do with his past behavior. According to the NBA, Green's suspension was partly due to his history of committing similar offenses in the past. And he's not the only one with a history like that. Brooks was ejected from Game 2 of last season's series against the Warriors for a dirty hit on Gary Payton II. He was then suspended for Game 3 of that series. Sound familiar? In March, he was suspended for a game after earning his 16th technical foul of the season. That's right, 16. But that's not the only incident that's gotten Brooks in hot water this season. Earlier in the year, he was ejected from a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers for hitting Donovan Mitchell in the groin. Brooks is a seasoned agitator, no doubt about it. Even before the postseason started, he had been talking trash. Brooks said he wanted to face James in the first round so he can knock him out right away. We all know how that ended. But Brooks is no stranger to causing drama on and off the court. In fact, even players like Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors and Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Clippers have called him out for being an idiot and trash. Now, you might be wondering, why is Brooks so eager to pick a fight with James? Well, it's simple, really. Brooks loves to get under his opponent's skin and thrives off the negative attention, unlike LeBron. James said, at the end of the day, my focus is to my teammates and us trying to figure out a way we can beat the Memphis Grizzlies, not how I can beat an individual or their team. If anybody know me, they should know that's what I've always been about. And you know, that's all that matters. The king finally speaks. So, for the past 2 weeks, LeBron James has been keeping quiet about his feud with Dillon Brooks. I mean, we all saw those heated exchanges on the court during Game 3, right? But LeBron has been playing it cool, not giving any attention to Brooks' jabs at him. In fact, during interviews, LeBron has been diplomatic and professional, not even mentioning Brooks' name. But hold up, something changed. That's right, LeBron has finally broken his silence on the matter after the Los Angeles Lakers absolutely dominated the Memphis Grizzlies, winning by a whopping 40 points and taking the series. LeBron James took to Twitter to share his thoughts. And let me tell you, it was quite the message. He quoted lyrics from Jay-Z's 2006 track, Trouble, off the album Kingdom Come. Now, James didn't specify who these lyrics were for, but we can all read between the lines. And if that wasn't enough, he also posted the slideshow of Instagram with the caption, "If you ever see me fighting in the forest with the grizzly bear, help the bear!" Now that's a pretty bold statement. And it seems like James is responding to comments made by Dillon Brooks, who said,
I poke bears.
when asked about going up against a player of James's caliber. Lakers versus the Warriors. LeBron James and the Lakers already played their first game of the Western Conference semifinals against the Warriors, and they took the W with a score of 117 to 112. But it wasn't an easy battle. Followed up with an answer from the Warriors in Game 2, as they lead 127 to 100. I mean, this is another epic matchup between two of the greatest players of our time, LeBron James and Stephen Curry. They're both bringing their A games, and as of now, the series is tied 1-1. What's next for the Grizzlies? Now, for the Grizzlies, they find themselves in a tough spot right now. You see, before the season started, their star guard, Ja Morant, made some bold claims. He said that the Grizzlies were gunning for the Eastern Conference and that they weren't even worried about the West. Now, that's a pretty ballsy statement to make, especially considering how stacked the West is. It almost seemed like Ja was implying that winning the Western Conference was a given for the Grizzlies this season. But when asked about it in an interview, Morant didn't shy away from the question. Instead, he said he's ready to deal with the criticism that comes his way. Now, that's a great attitude to have, but the Grizzlies still have a lot of work to do if they want to follow through on that promise in future seasons. And the Lakers series showed that they still have a long way to go. If they want to be the team to beat on the West, they need to figure out how to get over that hump. But now, as we look to the future, we see that Dillon Brooks may be headed to China. It's always interesting to see where free agents end up, especially when they have a reputation for trash-talking some of the biggest names in the game. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Dillon Brooks go up against some of China's best players and give them a taste of his trash-talking ways. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more NBA news and updates. Until next time, stay awesome.